Yeah, so we're back on this OpenAI. This is now Monday. Most people probably already heard the news that are following the story, but for me, I just wanted to continue on my visual timeline to explain to myself as much as to anyone else that cares about this crazy event that happened to OpenAI. So to catch everyone up, we see yesterday meaning Sunday at around 1 in the afternoon, we see Sam post or tweet himself with a guest pass at OpenAI. You're just kind of going, okay, he's in there talking to people and stuff. But then we also see that there's like a note to the board saying that they want, essentially the team wants, Sam back. And you could see a lot of all the executive team had signed it, including Ilya, which just seems weird, right? But clearly, they were trying to figure out if the board would just like reset and get Sam back as the CEO of the company he co-founded. But as a lot of us know, that didn't happen. Satya, CEO of Microsoft, sort of comes in and saves the day. So, in his tweet on Sunday night, like at almost midnight, so he's working late, he essentially says, hey, we're committed to the partnership of OpenAI, and we now learn that OpenAI has a third new CEO. So in the last 72 hours, we had number one CEO was Sam. Then on Friday and Saturday, you have Mira as the CEO. And then now on Sunday, Sam is not the CEO of OpenAI anymore, nor is Mira, but it's a new guy named Emmett Shear. He's the new CEO. So Satya is saying, hey, I've got $10 billion invested in you, and we've got a lot of software running on top of you. He wants to continue to support Microsoft's customers, and he's looking to get to know who Emmett Shear is. But in the second little paragraph in his tweet, he's also announcing that he's excited news that Sam Altman and Greg Brock are going to be joining Microsoft to lead the new advanced AI research team. That's basically at midnight. So Satya's kind of figured out how to make this work. And then, at 11:58, so 11:53, 5 minutes later, obviously Satya and Sam are talking, and Sam says the mission continues, and then Satya doubles down at, another 20 minutes later, saying he's super excited to have you, meaning Sam, join as the CEO of this new group. So now Sam is Altman, on Friday was the CEO of OpenAI. Now he's the CEO of this new group that Satya has put together. Of course, a few minutes later, Greg Brockham also sort of says, we're going to, sends out a tweet saying, hey, we're going to build something incredible, with the initial leadership from OpenAI. So it's like clearly they've got something set up at Microsoft. Satya's all in, Sam's there, Greg's there, and now the initial leadership team are executives from OpenAI. That's at 1:17 in the morning. I guess, at 2:06 in the morning, Mira's still up, and, she's saying OpenAI is nothing without its people. I kind of would agree because, it's a software company, and the people that are making the software are very important. So pretty much goes without saying. I don't know why she's saying that at 2:06 in the morning, but it kind of gets a little more dire at 5:15 in the morning. And I kind of feel sorry for, Ilya, because like he's clearly, realizing what happened on Friday was probably, has not gone according to plan, or it's sort of just blown up and he's having second thoughts. So Ilya basically tweets at 5:15. This is the first we've heard from him since Friday. That he deeply regret his participation in the board's actions, and that he's saying he never intended to harm OpenAI. Clearly, he's probably doesn't seem like a guy that wants to harm anything. He's a very thoughtful scientist, and that he loves everything he's built together and will do everything he can to reunite the company, which isn't nice to say, but like, man, he has to really think about it. He sat in a meeting with the board and let his co-founder and CEO get fired. That's a heavy hit. Yeah, maybe he's having second thoughts, but that's just, this tweet just strikes me as being, of course, honest and but also just kind of like, dude, what were you thinking? And so my thing is like, how did Ilya get to the place where him and the board decided to do this? Like, that's a bigger story, but there's a lot of employees that got hurt in this decision. So I kind of feel bad for Ilya and all the people, but that's the post. That's at 5:15 in the morning. Sam's still awake. So just a few minutes later, he gives 3 hearts. It's nice to see. At 5:49, I guess Greg's up. He gives the 3 hearts. That seems like the thing to do, the 3 hearts. A little bit later in the day, a little in the early morning, Sam's basically talking about the OpenAI leadership team, particularly with Mira, Brad, and Jason, but really all of them have been doing an incredible job through what will go into the history books. Incredible proud. So he's basically saying to the team that's still at OpenAI, wow, you've done a great job dealing with this crisis. No one thought this was going to happen. And then, 10 minutes later at 10:27 a.m. Monday, he's, talking about more unity and commitment and focus than ever before. I don't know about that. We're all going to work together some way or the other. I'm so excited. One team, one mission. This just seems like like a nothing burger kind of tweet. Clearly thinking through what the heck's going on. This is like, I can imagine Sam has slept very little, and he's had to switch companies in the middle of the night, sort of, so to speak, and try to pull us together. So I don't know what that all is. But then, Greg basically at 10:40, he's basically, leveling up, and he's giving, Brad and Jason and Mira, a shout out, one team, one mission. I assume these guys are all going to go with them over to Microsoft. So that was at 10:40. And, the question comes like, so who lose and in this, who's winning, right? And so like, I guess the winner is Emmett Shear. Like, he's the new CEO of OpenAI, or for whatever OpenAI is going to be in the next, 100 days or next 100 years. I don't know. Emmett's going to have to like deal with who's staying, who's going. Are we a for-profit? Are we the non-profit? Are we just research? How do we work with Microsoft? Like if 50 or 60% of his company goes, and it takes that amount of people, how's he going to grow the business? Like, how's he going to attract talent to something that's sort of so haywire right now? So Emmett, I don't know, but he's got a crazy job right now. That's like a CEO job that is just gnarly. So whatever he does, I think will be amazing to watch and see. But like, other big losers here is the OpenAI employees and investors. Like, think about it. Like, all those employees that have been working for maybe years, they have all these stock options that are in a company that just sort of might have blown up. Like, who knows what their stocks are at? Who knows what their options are at? Microsoft owns 49% of the for-profit business. According to some sources, the other investors are the employees, and maybe 2% goes to the nonprofit. But like, that other 49, both Microsoft hey, wow, they got 49% of OpenAI that may go to nothing. Who knows? Who knows if they have clawbacks? Who knows if the $10 billion are credits that may never get spent? You know, but the 49% of the employees, like, they're all looking at each other, probably going like, WTF? What the hell just happened to all of our stock options? So that's pretty gnarly. So I think that's the loser. And I think also the AI community, I think, is just like kind of got like whipsawed this week. We had dev days, really exciting stuff, GPTs, all that stuff sounds really cool. You can get more tokens at cheaper price, Microsoft's excited. And then, a week later, this is all happening. So I think as a developer in the AI community, as someone who's trying to work with other customers with AI, this doesn't look good. This doesn't look good at all. So that's I think we have to say the AI community took one for the team here on this. So we have to as a community kind of get over this OpenAI business. It's just because we don't have any control over it. This is just happening, and we will obviously do fine, but it's like it's really maybe the winners are like the effective altruist people. Maybe it's the OpenAI board. I mean, they clearly felt like very compelled to like say, no, Sam's not the CEO of the company anymore. He's hindering our business. I don't know the details, but Sam's no longer the CEO of the business. I guess they won. You know what I mean? I really would like to hear what their story is, but I can't say who else is the winner here except for them, because they moved to fire him on Friday. They stuck to their guns. Sam is fired, and maybe that's what they wanted. I mean, clearly they got what they wanted. But the biggest winner is Satya. I mean, this guy is like, I don't know. I mean, time will tell, but like right now for me, it looks like Satya at Microsoft, he's like, okay, I got 49% in OpenAI. There's going to be still some value to create there. Maybe Emmett can do something, maybe not. But I just recruited Sam, Greg, and probably 50 or 60% of the entire OpenAI team. I own, I'm going to own a gigantic part of that equity as Microsoft. We're going to, use all of the OpenAI code because they have access to that in their partnership. And we're going to have Sam and Greg and team basically build what they've always wanted to build. And that's all underneath the Microsoft banner, and Satya sort of wins. So I think he's the biggest winner right now. And vis-a-vis that, maybe, maybe we all win. I think, as I sit here and discuss this, as like, maybe this is also a time when folks that are in the development groups, we can actually kind of think about how important open source is going to be to AI, and like why we should be using open source software. In particularly, this case would tell us it's probably a good thing. Not all open source software have governance issues like this, but they do sometimes. But generally, I've seen open source software work quite well for quite many years. So yeah, maybe Microsoft and Satya are the biggest winners here, but maybe the open source community will really take this OpenAI as a telltale sign and say, look, if you're going to build your AI products, you should be building them on open source. I don't know. You tell me. That's what I thought. Thanks.